Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Spring 2020. I'm Atlas. I'm joined by Wadid here for our second matchup of the day. KT going to be taking on Griffin. And KT looking to move that 7-winning streak to an 8.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And GRF is already going for the top 3 spot. So KT, they really need a win right now here if they really want to contest the top 3 teams. And this should be easy win for them, when especially they're playing against Griffin.
Yeah, exactly right. I think that certainly KT should be favored, but we're going to be paying attention to how KT are going to win this game as well, because I think we're directly comparing DRX to KT right now. And, you know, theoretically, DRX should have had an easy match against Sandbox, but Sandbox made them work really hard for it over that 3-game series that we just had. And now we're looking to see whether KT can quickly deal with a Griffin that is definitely struggling right now.
Oh yeah, even though we said win is win, the way how they got the win today, DRX, it was not that good performance compared to top 2 teams right now. So I just want to see more calm and collected plays by KT today, especially it's 10th place then, 10th place team, so they should able to smash them.
Yeah, exactly.
In the gameplay.
And Griffin's dilemma: no more 8 losses in a row. Like, this is the problem. We've got teams on very different trajectories right now, with KT winning every single match and Griffin just losing every single match as well. Even with their switch of the top side of the map, which looked to be on paper pretty good. But damn, aiming being playing so damn well. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on Irove and Viper today to see whether they can put down an aiming that's just on a warpath.
Yeah, and also I think Tushin performing well helped a lot with the aiming performing recently. So I think Tushin right now is like, it reminds me when Tushin played for Worlds when I was at G2. Like he was a great player when I screamed against him. So more aggressiveness with the smart plays, that's what I want to see from Tucson.
And also, Tucson heading towards his 400th game in the LCK. So congratulations to Tucson there, and we'll see whether it's an easy 2-0 to get him there. You can see KT win rate with gold lead at 15. That stat still gigantic. This is what we were memeing about in our match against Afrika earlier on. They win most of the time with a lead at 15, and I believe that was actually scuffed in our last match against Afrika, where Afrika were actually able to win out in one of those, I'm pretty sure, to make that a 3-game series. That was actually a really fun one to watch, so we'll see whether KT are going to be able to do the same thing here and show us that the stats do not lie.
Oh, yeah. And it's really impressive that KT has a fastest average game win time, which means they play good, but also they win fast, which means it's really great for all the staffs in ballpark right now, you know?
Yeah, because those guys are certainly working very, very hard. This is going to be your standard roster here for KT. I feel bad as well, dude. Don't you worry. As Soan, Bono, Kuro, Aiming, and Tucson. Very, very understandable. We haven't seen much from Malrang or Ray recently, as Untara is making his top lane debut to try and save this struggling Griffin roster. I don't know whether it's going to be enough, but at least it's not Sword.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of LCK staffs said to me, we tried to pre-interview when season started, and they picked up Untara actually for the interview.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't even play the single game for since now, and finally he's in here and try to show what he got for Griffin.
Well, having a look at what Griffin has, they have to contend with this guy on the bottom side of the map. And them are some pretty good stats for aiming right now. What the heck is this? Highest damage percent, highest damage at 15 minutes as well. Close to the best KDA. Like, this guy, what can't he do?
Yeah, I mean, kill interaction first as AD carry. This is just like, you are the one who carries the team.
Yeah.
That is just it, you know? So I'm really happy that aiming is finally performing good, and a lot of casters and analysts agree that aiming is one of the smartest player with the aggressiveness. So I just want to see more stomping ball lane especially against Viper, who played so well last year, but not this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's going to happen today.
And Viper was also one of our smart bottom lane players as well. I mean, him and Tarzan were sort of touted as the brains trust of both the AD carry role and the jungle position, but this year it just hasn't been that at all. As we'll have to see whether Griffin can turn around this performance. Already, Silas and Set banned away here from KT. Might mean that we're going to look at an Ornn first pick, but we'll see what is going to happen here. I don't think Soan had played very much Ornn, honestly. Recently? No, in fact, after their Harma Life series, after their 6th match win in a row, he'd never played the Ornn. I think he debuted it in their match against Afrika earlier on. So it might mean that KT are looking for yet another one of those pickups. But Senna is available and Callista is also available.
Yeah, Senna. I think it's more right for the KT because I don't think they can flex Callista on the top side.
Yep, I like that.
This is a great choice by KT right now. And Ornn instantly. This is what we want to see.
And also, it's the Untara special. If you cast your minds back, ladies and gentlemen, back when Untara was on a failing T1 in 2018, it was the Ornn that was able to pull them out a few victories. So we'll see whether Untara, back to one of his favorite picks, is going to be able to flex his muscles up against Soan as KT lock in the very understandable Tahm-Kench Senna. And now Kuro wondering what he wants to take away as well. The Trundle was picked up in tandem with the Ornn. I do like these two champions being able to put up their pillars all over the place, but it might be Bono's pickup here in something like an Olaf for KT, and it's going to be what they lock away.
Yeah, and KT is the team who actually plays Senna really well, so they just ended up with Olaf, which is, it can be carry. Like,
yeah, with this comp,
we just saw it. Yeah, we just saw it that when you actually build around the champion, then it's really impactful. Before it was Aatrox and this time it's Olaf, so it's really great choice by KT. But also Griffin's answer is great to see because their top side is already looking really strong enough.
Oh yeah, and Azir has been on the bench for majority of today and for last week as well. Azir has certainly been rising to prominence, and now Griffin get to pick it and then ban away potential counterpicks. I actually really, really like this. I think Kuro's probably going to be looking towards something like an Echo in the mid lane. He does really like picking that into the Azir, but now Griffin can ban that one away if they would like to, after getting rid of the understandable LeBlanc pick here from mid, as well as Yuumi to be taken away.
I think they just need some early laning phase on the bot side, Griffin. So they should just pick for early game to support their carries to have enough time to get the item. Because I think they already have great power for the late game with the Ornn Azir. So I don't think they need more late game power on the bot side. So we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, the Yuumi has been banned away already. Irove not going to be able to head towards that one. His set was already banned. So we're not going to see as much of that alpha play that we loved watching from Irove with his level 1 flashes 2 games in a row. Loved it. And the last ban will be that Ezreal away from Viper. So I think that KT had the same idea, wanting to stop some more of that mid-game power coming out of Griffin.
Oh yeah, definitely. And there's not many AD carries that he can play, I feel like. Oh, is it again Talia Pantheon?
Are they going to do it? Oh no, it's going to be the Nautilus. Okay. I liked the Talia hover though. That wasn't too bad. But now that we're saving Viper's pick until last, we'll see what he's actually going to look towards. Is now aiming, hovering the Talia as well.
Maybe he's thinking about non-AD carry pick on the bot side.
Oh, the
like
Kuro special!
Oh!
I love it!
Yeah. Vel'Koz is definitely one of the good pick against Azir, especially when you can play well on the Vel'Koz. And I can definitely just recommend Vel'Koz all the time to play against it.
Yeah, and Kuro is one of our premier Vel'Koz players as well. An absolutely fantastic Vel'Koz master. As now Soan thinking of taking the Aatrox into the Ornn, a losing matchup. And I don't know why he did it, but there we go. At least they have the Vel'Koz, which we like. as Misfortune is picked up here from Viper, and I don't mind it. To be honest, you can certainly hyper carry with the Misfortune, but she also does decently well in the mid to early game also.
I mean, I think this game Aatrox is still fine because they need someone to just run in instead of Vel'Koz and Senna. And I think the Aatrox can be really great positioning with the Olaf. I think it can be really impactful.
Yep.
But at the same time, Griffin has really, as I said, they just needed to get early game pressure, and they got the Misfortune. They should able to have some great game with those comp, because that composition is actually LCK standard.
Yeah, very standard from Griffin.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it. I actually really like Tahm Kench in the KT comp, just because you want to keep Senna and Vel'Koz very safe. And Devour is very strong in tandem with the Vel'Koz, being able to reposition him whenever you want to. And so I really like what KT have put together. But like you say, I mean, Griffin have about the most standard composition you could ever get in the LCK, and we'll see whether just standard LCK play is going to win out against what is a little bit more interesting on KT's side.
Oh, yeah. And I just want to see Yukol perform better than before, because normally you never ban AP damage dealers against Yukol, you know? You just ban some random champions like Kiana or some AD champions. So if he plays good on mage champions, then Griffin can be a really strong team.
Well, we'll see what they can do up against the 7 wins in a row KT to try and get themselves out of their funk, out of their losing streak that Griffin has been plagued with. And maybe, just maybe, Untara is going to be their way to safety. I don't know whether that's going to be the case. Untara certainly in his last matches in the LCK was not the greatest of top laners, but he's had a lot of time to train.
True. And what I felt like when I watched the Griffin games is like most of the time they were lost in the game. They didn't know what to do, so that's why they were just randomly dying all over again. So maybe Untara can bring up some shot calling.
Yeah, maybe.
The team.
I'd actually really like to see it. Hoya, of course, a very young player, and so probably wasn't a big voice in the team. And so Untara might be able to come back and give them some fresh perspective here. And might actually allow Tarzan and Viper to play a little bit more comfortably as well, with having sort of more of a rock veteran in the top lane instead. As we have a look at Untara's stats here in the LCK. What is this? A 44.7% win rate so far, and his last match was a loss against BBQ in 2018.
Oh yeah,
wow,
that's pretty sad stat, but yeah. Anyways, interesting rune choice by Tarzan. I can see phase rush.
Whoa,
on Trundle.
That is very weird.
Weird, but I think it can be really smart with Olaf, because you can actually run away from the chain X.
Yeah, true.
We'll see if it's actually impactful.
We'll see whether they can make it work. So far, you can see KT starting their laning phase quite nicely here on the bottom side, aiming, getting as much harassment in as possible, as Tucson is just cancelling auto attacks. Looks like he's just having a great time on the Tahm Kench right now. And Bono on his favorite champion of all time, the Olaf. Very, very happy here. Just clearing out his top side jungle completely, and we'll go for a full clear of the bottom side after that, I have to imagine.
Yeah, and KT bot lane is already having huge pressure on Nautilus. Normally when you play hook champions on the bot lane, you should able to have decent amount of HP, because you must go in, right?
Yeah.
And that means you're gonna get hit by enemy champions. So you must have decent HP before you fight. But it seems like it's gonna be harder and harder for Iroh, because he already used one pulse at level 1, so I don't think it's gonna be easy lane for Griffin on the bot side. And also Viper has TP with him, so I don't think they can ever think about 2v2 on the bot side.
No, it's going to be too hard. No exhaust on the bottom side of the map either, as now Tarzan looking for Kuro. Of course, you are pretty gankable on the Vel'Koz, and he does have to flash here at 3 minutes in. Might need some help from Bono as this game goes on. He's finished his full clear now moving towards the bottom side. Rift Scuttler, good timing here for the jungler of KT. Just power farming on the Olaf.
All they need to do is not devour the minion like Sushi. and they can have full pressure on the both sides for the rest of the game. So
yeah,
if that happens, luckily.
Well, you can see the Devour is very strong with the hook coming out from Irove just immediately, just eats up the 80 carry, and then you can see Aiming was very happy just to pop out as close as possible to the Nautilus to get some trade damage back. That's sort of how these trades are going to go.
Yeah, and also I don't see Tushin failing his Devour this game because he's performing really well recently. So
it'd certainly be hard for Griffin to win this one. Good knock up there from Kuro in the mid lane, but he's eaten through all of his potion charges and is now looking for a back timing. He's got the teleport, so he'll be able to make it back to this lane very comfortably. And an interesting fact is that Yukal has the Conqueror this time around. Azir showing us that he's more than happy to pick up basically any of the keystone choices that you could possibly have. We've seen like about 7 so far this season.
Oh yeah. I think it's just a preference. Some players like to have Halo Blades or Lethal Tempo for the attack speed, but I think he's more about the infight with the Olaf, so that's why probably he has the Conqueror.
Well, you can see Tarzan back on his very famous Trundle. It's been a while since we've spoken about it because, you know, Griffin have been losing so many games, things like that, but 12-1, still a huge stat line on the Trundle, and he was at 100% win rate for like close to a year and a half on the Trundle.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely one of his power picks, and so maybe, just maybe, this will help him reach King of the Jungle status instead of being George.
I mean, I think they should able to get great 2v2 on the mid side because they got the Valkyrie's flash earlier, so and they have Azir with the level 6 flash on, so they should be able to get some 2v2 points on the mid side.
Yep, and you can see he's hovering around that mid area, looking down towards the Infernal Drake right now. Bono is in position, and as you can see, Irove actually all the way away from Viper here is forced to farm underneath his turret. Bono thinking about coming in for a potential dive as Tarzan in position, but Kuro nowhere near the Trundle at all. He's just playing as safe as possible.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great move by Irove. Even though he doesn't have pressure, he can still affect his power for the mid jungle. But this is just 4-man by KT, so are they going to try to fight here?
Well, you can see Yukal going to get that flash, just pushes the Vel'Koz over the wall. He's down extremely low as Tucson going to devour the Vel'Koz, and First Blood goes over to Bono. Immediately, Kuro is answered for, but Irove taking so much damage from Aiming here is just speeding after him. A double kill here for the Olaf as Tarzan gets exhausted. 2-1 is going to be the trade in favor of KT, and they might just move over and pick up an Infernal Drake.
That was just great defensive play by KT. As I mentioned it, they were looking for level 6 play on Vel'Koz, so they were just moving towards the Vel'Koz and they're looking for Drake.
Yep, and they should be able to lock this one down very comfortably. Bono going to move on over. Doesn't have a lot of mana, but Viper now just having to deal with Aiming, who has all of that extra movement speed, and will be able to get an extra auto attack here. No, not able to, but they'll clear out this minion wave very, very happily. And Tucson moving towards his Dead Man's Plate and Ninja Tabi very quickly here this game.
I mean, I think this is not the timing for the new call to go on Vel'Koz, because obviously they didn't have bot pressure, and this was the timing that KT bowling can move freely. So Viper was like 5 seconds later than Aiming right here, so that's why it made the huge difference between Griffin and KT.
Yeah. And Bono picking up 2 of the kills has accelerated him towards his Cinder Hulk. He's already completed it, and we know that Olaf, if you can get a snowball, is so incredibly strong. As now Aiming, checking out his stats, my god, he's got a lot of firsts.
I mean, everything first, but damage per minute is second because of Hybrid. He was just abusing some Misfortune and Zillion combo.
Oh, that's true. The 66,000 damage game as well was certainly going to put him over the edge. But Aiming, otherwise, is just the best in every stat so far in round 2. So really good stuff. And a 13 KDA, just showing that he is hard carrying KT at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, again, KT is playing as a team. as you saw, they all knew that Velcros needs some help, and they just helped it.
Yeah.
And it actually made the game really simple right now, which is it's just in KT's favor.
Well, there's an explosion of an Azir. Good night, sweet prince.
I mean, look at this smart move by Aim. He is actually a support role when you're playing a fasting Senna,
yeah.
And he just moved at the right timing, and he was at the right position, so that's why they just could get some easy kill on Yukal, and Azir is already really useless.
Yeah, he's not able to do anything. He's farming decently, is Yukal, but honestly, when you don't have flash, basically all of these skill shots are going to land, and you're just going to be dead. In fact, the pick CC out of KT is actually really scary. If an undertow lands, there's a knock-up from the Vel'Koz, there's the Senna landing her snare, there is just so much follow-up CC, and Soan might be in trouble here towards the top side. Ornhorn does come down, good infernal chains, but Antara is just going to straight up miss sending his Ram back. And that's going to say goodnight to that gank, and no flash even required.
That's not a good first impression when Antara came back for the LCK. And Olaf has headed on the bot side while they showed on the top side, so they're just gonna get free plates on the bot side. This is just so huge.
Yeah, and Tucson just able to walk up and zone Viper away. Good dredge line is going to land there from Iroh, but remember, we do still have the Q from aiming to keep Tucson alive. And yes, they deal with the minion wave, but they still haven't even used the Herald. They don't even need to.
Yeah, and they don't even need to use some of the spells right now.
Yeah.
So they still have all suns, and heal is gonna go up, and bot lane summoners difference is gonna change some skirmishes on the bot side. Definitely, because they have only Ignite to fight it.
And KT,
while they're having heal and exhaust there.
Yeah. KT moving to 3,000 gold in the lead. They have position around the next Drake that's going to be spawning. Cloud Drake will mean that the Dragon Soul will be either a mountain or an ocean, which is certainly what you're looking for. Aiming going to pick up a bit of extra gold. I believe Tucson secured the blue buff, and he's the carry of this lane, so completely understandable that the blue buff will go over to the Tahm Kench. As Antara now just trying to put things back together on the top side of the map, but you can see that Soan's had a great time so far on this Aatrox, despite the Bramble Vest coming in very early here for Antara.
Yeah, and remember, stats never lies, and KT, when they have early leads, they didn't lose yet at round 2. So I think this is already good signal for KT right now, and they keep focusing on their bot lane because they cannot even play 2v2 lane. But 3v3 is not possible, and they're gonna get towered ahead.
Yep, Herald gonna come down for the last couple of plates, which are of course the most durable, and that will mean that aiming gets all of this gold as well. 600 as that tower falls down at 11.5 minutes in this game. KT's lead is just ballooning.
Yeah, and good thing about the Senna, when you're snowballing, the items that Senna builds is really cheap enough to just build it fast compared to crit AD carries, so it's gonna help KT more than normal.
As Kuro does have to flash there in the mid lane. Not going to be able to land any follow-up damage there either, so they're keeping the Vel'Koz's flash on cooldown. That is good news, but as Tahm Kench moves into the lane, Kuro can play much more aggressively because Devour is one hell of an ability. And especially when, on a Vel'Koz.
Yeah, and you cannot dodge the alpha male flash hook right there.
Yep.
I mean, it's already meme, you know. Like I'm just like I cannot handle it. It's always fun to watch Iroh uses his flash forward.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Even on a team that's losing, it's just great to see that he's still having a good time and playing aggressively. And hopefully he doesn't stop that style of play as well, just because they haven't been finding the results that they're looking for. You can see KT still massive amounts of control as that Cloud Drake was consumed, and we have Ocean Soul available. KT loves just stacking up these Drakes. I feel like, you know, with Bono on your team, he loves focusing on the early game, and it means that KT get to these Dragon Souls so early. We saw in the Dragon X series, like, the Dragon Souls were taking a really long time because there wasn't that level of attention given to the dragon, but now as soon as KT step onto the rift, it's like dragon, dragon, dragon. Get all of the dragon.
I mean, they're just really quick and fast to get all the objectives and lead when they have actual advantage in the lane. So it's really good to see a snowball really smoothly without any accidents, you know, like DRX that showed before. So this is the already like comparable performance that we can see from KT right now.
And now Antara's getting zoned out here by Soan and Aiming and Bono turning up. They're going to grab even more damage just before these turret plates are going to fall down. Yukal looking for Kuro, but Kuro is playing a very good defensive game of League of Legends. And I love Kuro for this. Like, he's always been known as a mitigating mid laner. He just takes pressure away.
Yeah, he know how to drag the players and not die at all. You know? That's a good part of it, because it's good that you don't die, but you shouldn't give up anything. And you should be able to drag some players. And this is what he's doing right now. He dragged all the 3 players, and all he needs to do is just not die while they're getting top tower.
Yeah, and they do exactly that. They grab some of the extra plates just before they fall down as well. We'll be able to get the plate gold number here pretty soon, and I'm pretty sure KT were destroying in that particular stat line, because you can see all of their outer turrets are very healthy right now. Mid lane outer is still something that KT do need to contend with, but they've picked up all of the global gold that they were looking for in this early game, and they're going to continue snowballing this lead further forward. You can see that 1,280 gold to 0.
Yeah, I mean, all they need to do is just try to do something against Velkus, who has no flash, but it's Kuro, man.
Yeah.
He's playing so smart, and that's why KT could actually bounce back from the disaster record.
Yeah, so good. This feels like they've found that synergy, you know, and it's just great to see here from KT. You remember their earlier games, like Bono was flashing under turrets and the rest of the team were completely on a different page, but now Bono flashes forward and everyone's there ready to pick things up, you know? As Tarzan might get discovered here, as Tusin's going to lick him, but otherwise not too much is going to happen.
And this header is going to be used for the mid, but they should know that there is 5 men here.
Yep, and there's the ult from Yukal, but it's immediately flashed there by Tusin, gets back to the Phalanx, and they're going to be absolutely fine. So Yukal puts his ultimate on cooldown, as does Tarzan, with not too much to show for it other than a Tahm flash. They're going to keep sieging.
Yeah, I mean, they lost the flash, but he didn't die, so it doesn't matter. And still send a Tahm Kench is really hard to kill, so it doesn't matter that he has no flash. And he even has stopwatch. Their bot lane has 2 stopwatches.
And 2 swiftness boots as well. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Buffed
it's
on
like,
the previous patch.
It's just so hard to Griffin to play against.
Yeah. And Shirley gets a double charge there as well here from KT. They've got both of the Heralds, both of the Dragons so far this game. Taken all of the objectives on this map, the majority of the plates. They kept all of their plates up as well. I mean, Griffin are just falling so far behind, and it's just mainly good objective play here by KT. It's the macro. It's not even like we're smashing our lanes, we're going to win. It's just really intelligent by KT.
Yeah. All the rotation, and they even got the lane pressure, especially on the bot side. Yeah, so I just want to spotlight their bot lane more, because Aiming and Tushin is just performing so much better than the round 1.
Oh yeah.
Even though, let's say their top side is not performing good, and their top side players are not that top tier players, but still they could have some good games. But at round 1 they couldn't. You know? Their synergy was not on point, and Tushin was just randomly going in and without any reason, and Aiming was just alone on the turret and dying. But right now they're always playing together, always going front together. So yeah, I mean, it just make it so easy for the team who needs some carries and damage dealers for the late game.
Yeah, playing around this bottom lane performing so well is definitely working out here for KT, and it just feels like they've clicked, you know, they've found the synergy and they're utilizing it so well. Really good stuff here from KT so far. You can see Soan, he's got to his 30% CDR. He's very happy on his Aatrox right now, as Tusin is just walking underneath inner turrets and licking people and having a great time. This is a very scary game as the Ocean Drake falls down for free. As there's the Ornhorn to come down. Good Devour gets Bono to safety, as this tower still taking damage from Aiming. Need to do the stack check just to see how the center has been going. I'm pretty sure those stack numbers are getting pretty high.
Oh yeah. also that misfortune ulti didn't even tickle Tahm Kench.
Yeah, it did nothing. I barely even noticed it going down, to be perfectly honest.
It's 76 stacks on the Senna. I just checked.
Not too bad, not too bad. 18.5 minutes. And
yeah, I'm wondering about the base rush Trundle at this point, because I didn't see any point that that rune choice was impactful against Olaf.
No, haven't really seen it do anything just yet. And you can see Bono's just farming. He's on a farming frenzy right now. 30 CS in the lead. Actually getting closer to 40 right now. And it's only going to get easier and easier as they start shutting Griffin out of their own jungle. You can see these outer turrets are still standing strong for KT, and they're starting to push towards inners. The inner in the mid lane already gone down. The bottom lane is very, very low. And KT are now turning their attention towards this Baron that's going to be spawning in another 40 seconds time. KT just have all the control possible right now. Griffin just aren't allowed to play the game.
And Tushin seems like he's farming as a Tahm Kench for the side lane.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me when he played Volibear. Is he gonna go gigantic Hydra again?
I hope so. I really hope so. Right now he does look like he's building towards the Gargoyle Stone Plate, so it's a little bit more boring, but maybe after that he's gonna go for more of the damage item build and be our split pusher.
I mean, it's just so funny because Tahm Kench is not a good side lane, you know? You push so slow,
yeah, exactly.
But he's still going side. He's like, I'm Tahm Kench, I'm eating CS, I go side.
And you can see the rest of the team are playing around him. You can see they're invading the enemy jungle, making sure that the Tahm Kench can get the free farm. That's what we're talking about.
Oh my god. But actually, Tahm Kench with the Hydra is actually good because you can actually use auto attack cancel to devour faster.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's cool. Hadn't thought about that. Even adds value in a team fight.
So I just see Tushin going that item, and now Griffin is trying to fight the problem.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage onto Iroh. Griffin not really finding their way in whatsoever. Tarzan a little bit late on the rotation as Yukal is really far behind and standing on a ward as well. As KT will see this ward go down, he cleared that one out very easily. And as we tick over 20 minutes, we have 2 minutes left until the Drake is available, and KT looking for the Ocean Soul, which honestly will feel like lights out for Griffin.
Yeah, I mean, this is just so sad situation for Griffin right now, because they have to fight. They cannot just give up everything. Yes, maybe you can just have some time for the damage dealers to get the item, but why are you giving up all the objectives? Can you just give up everything until the Nexus breaks down, you know?
Yeah, I don't think they can do that. And also relying on their scaling ability with this Azir and the Ornn, of course, is I don't think going to be enough against KT, who don't have a composition that fares badly in the late game whatsoever. I mean, Vel'Koz is fantastic, does true damage in the late game when you get those downloads, and Senna just keeps scaling and scaling and scaling. And they're going to have even more gold on the map as well, because Senna gets her own form of income. And so you have the biggest Tahm Kench ever with no trade-off.
Yeah, and I don't think, as you mentioned it, I don't think KT has bad.
The Devour is absolutely fantastic. There's the on-horn though, Zuntara does get a triple knock-up into the backline, but it's just not doing enough damage. The ult to turn around there from aiming, the Dawning Shadow working out here as the Sun Turret has been erected, but they're not going to be able to get any of these kills.
Well, that was still a great teamfight by Griffin. That was a great attempt to attack Vel'Koz and Senna lines, but still not enough because they didn't have enough damage. So at least they just need to stop at least one Drake to have 2 cores at in the damage dealer line.
Yeah.
At least one Drake to play the game.
Well, 15 seconds until that Drake has to be fought for here on Griffin's side, and Kuro didn't even have to use his teleport to get back towards this fight. Bono went back, completed a few extra items, but doesn't have his Warmogs yet completed. Looks like he's building towards Warmogs and a Black Cleaver at the same time, so maybe that Giant's Belt is going to go into something else, but now Zuntara getting snared up. Great knock up there as well. Gigantic damage there from the Disintegration Ray out of Kuro. And now Zuntara has to get out of here, and this will mean that KT have the inside track on the Drake, and there won't be too much of a way for Griffin to actually... As he's going back to base now, will be able to get back in, but you can see KT really want to get this Ocean Soul.
Griffin is pinging ward that behind.
Yeah, we've got a teleport
coming, but he has no ulti.
What is he going to be able to do is the question here, as KT have started off the Drake. Antara did get in here, but what's he going to be able to do? He doesn't have flash to get over this wall or anything like that, as the Drake is going to be falling. Griffin now have to deal with the Ocean Soul as they fight this one out. Iroh going down very, very low. You can see the bouncy castle is in there. Great ultimate from Yukal in the back line, but Soan is going to go golden. Iroh, oh no! The trade back kill does come in as KT do eventually get themselves out. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Griffin, but Ocean Soul is going to be so important as this game goes on.
They must try Nashor here, because there's no hope if they actually lose this timing. And MF has, Misfortune has TP, so they're going to try it.
Yep, the teleport's going to come forward like you were talking about. Viper gets himself in here as Viper runs away, and they do not start off the Drake as KT have found themselves a reset timing.
I mean, I understand that they are kind of slow on the Nashor, because it's only Azir that can actually do the damage to the Nashor, but still, I don't think if they don't try Nashor at this time, they can win a game, because this team fight was kind of lucky as well.
Yeah, and Soan actually providing a lot of space by using his stopwatch there in the backline. I really did enjoy that aspect of the play. I need to apologize. I forgot that the spell vamp is still actually there for the Death's Dance. It just has a few different stats and no just static lifesteal anymore, and just a little bit more defensive of a build path. So still fantastic Aatrox item in almost every single way. It makes him a bit tankier than it used to. That's why he's going to be building it all the time.
It makes Aatrox teamfight way more easier, I think, the change of the Death Dance. So I think it's just a great change for the champion-wise.
Yeah.
When you think about how he positioned the teamfight.
Well, now KT, speaking of positioning, just very comfy around this Baron, putting down all the vision that they want as Griffin are in position to try and counter it. And Misfortune does have pretty decent items. Like, now has the core of the Infinity Edge and the Essence Reaver, and does also have the Executioner's Calling to stop all of the healing that Aiming's going to be throwing down. Soan as well, Bono with a bit of his own. And so very good to have the Grievous Wounds in this particular team composition. But Viper getting poked out here by Kuro, who's got his Banshee's Veil as well, so he's very, very happy on this Vel'Koz, just clearing mini waves.
Yeah, I mean, this is the timing that I was talking about. Griffin, damage dealers, 2 items each. So I really think this is the comeback timing for Griffin, and they should able to get the Nashor right after the winning team fight.
Yep, that's if they can find it, as the inner turret falls on the bottom side. That is all of the inner turret ring down. And KT have now widened the map for themselves so much. They just own Griffin's jungle at this point in time. The gold lead isn't gigantic. It's close to 5,000, but not something that Griffin are going to be too worried about, especially as Antara gets levels and starts adding those masterwork items into the back pockets of Griffin. You can see already the Molten Edge has been completed for Viper, and he's got his Forge Fire Cape done as well. Still looking for his Abyssal Mask to be completed.
They're trying Nashor?
Yeah, they've started it. See whether Griffin's going to make it here in time. Looks like they haven't even really checked, as this Baron is going down very, very slow. Remember, Senecomps aren't great at just disintegrating a Baron, but we'll see whether they can actually get any turn. Yeah, good knock up there onto Antara, who has to get out defensively with the Searing Charge. This Baron has been given up on, as now Iroh gets interrupted. Yeah, fantastic stuff. And he gets pulled back by the Infernal Chains. Now the Ornn comes in, as Soan taking a lot of damage from Viper, but won't fall down just yet. Now KT can rely on their Ocean Soul to get their health back up basically instantly.
Yeah, I mean, still it seems like Griffin can teamfight, because yeah, this is the timing that Griffin can actually win the teamfight, because the item difference is not huge at this point.
Yeah.
And they can for sure melt the front line with the Tron. So there is still hope, even though they lost the Dragon Soul, which is, we were talking about how broken is Ocean Soul at the podcast.
Yeah, we were. Ocean Soul is pretty silly, but if Griffin can win this against the Ocean Soul, that will be very, very impressive.
Yeah, and that was really great positioning by Kuro. He knew that they cannot end the Nashor, so it was a great turn. But also, really great re-engage by Intara right there.
Yeah, good timing for the ultimates as well to come through at exactly the same point there. And they didn't get any kills, but they were able to take down their first turret of the game. Sorry, their third turret of the game there in the mid lane. As the goal difference, it's really stopped increasing here, as Griffin have stabilized this game quite nicely. Tarzan in position, but Bono not going to be too worried about that pillar of filth going down. And KT just continue to claim control of this Baron area. But with the fact that the Baron is so slow, it feels like it's not exactly what they want to be doing. As aiming is going to hit the Baron just a little bit there. Bono takes a bit of damage, but otherwise he's going to be okay. As that Black Cleaver completed now and has still just the Giant Spell. We'll see what he's going to turn that into as the game goes on. Someone's getting big though, Wadid. He's got his Guardian Angel now completed, as his core already put together as well. And he's close to 60 CS in the lead.
Yeah, but still, do you remember when Faker played Azir with the exhaust?
Oh yeah.
And enemy engagers and the top laners couldn't do anything because of the exhaust. So I really wanna see Yukal and Viper positioning together and just melt the front.
Well, we'll see whether they have a good performance here. As Yukal going to get knocked up, has to shift some sands to get himself out. Is now Antara on the front line. Searing Charge gets him away from the knockup. And now you've got a Ragnaroking Olaf in the back line. Antara just getting focus fired. He should fall down, but there's the bullet time, and Kuro is going to melt. So Viper grabs that kill. It's now 4 versus 4. Frontline taken down, but damage removed on KT's side.
Yeah, great thing is Viper is fed with the masterpiece by Ornn.
Yeah.
So this is just great news for Griffin. They're just making impossible team fight to possible team fight because they lost the Ocean Soul. So everyone expected Griffin to lose this game earlier. But they're just making game really slow.
Yep, that is what Griffin's always been good at, as the Elder Drake should just be going over to KT for free. They do have vision in the area, but this is getting taken down very low. Teleport in from Viper, but he doesn't have bullet time available, and Antara's still dead. So the Elder just goes over to KT for free, and they should be able to now move towards Baron and use this Elder Drake power to secure that objective as well.
What was that, Griffin? They just gave up Drake for free.
Yeah.
I just said good things about the Griffin that they did the team fight and delaying the late for the damage dealers, but they just instantly just gave up for the Drake
and now they'll give up Baron as well. Oh dear.
Yeah.
You sound like a disappointed father right now with him.
I mean, I just said good things about the Griffin, so I'm becoming a meme. Whenever
cast a curse all the time.
Whenever I talk good things about the team, they always in it. So I'm not sure should I.
Yeah, you've got to stop saying nice things. Stop saying nice things, please. We did just bad things only, and then they'll play better. As this was actually a pretty good trade, as Viper manages to pick up the kill onto the Vel'Koz, but then just ignoring the Elder Drake afterwards. I don't know, man. It's not what you want to see.
Yeah, the game is impossible to play again because now they have Elder Drake with Ocean Drake Soul, and they have Nashor. How they can lose this game?
They have absolutely every buff possible.
And Senna's stack is currently 127.
That's huge.
How they can lose this game?
Well,
just how?
Well, let's see whether Griffin have an answer for us. Iroh currently in a flanking position, as the Aatrox is just pushing up the side lane there. Sowan doing a decent job as the minions are conga lining towards this inhibitor turret. And KT's health bars look immovable right now. They look slightly immortal. As now they'll take down their first inhibitor, and Griffin are going to give it to them for free. And when does it stop? You mentioned this earlier, you can't just give up your Nexus because you don't feel strong enough to fight. You have to fight.
Yeah. Give up, farm for late, and give up the Nexus? No! That's not possible. You're gonna lose the game.
Yeah. They're farming for game 2, I think, as now the Ornn comes in. Antara gonna try a fight, as the knockup's going to miss there from Kuro, but it hasn't done anything, and now they've just put that button on cooldown and reaped no reward as Nexus turret's now starting to take damage, aiming throws through the ult and just destroys Iroh. The Dawning Shadow. It's now dawning on Griffin that they might just lose right here as bullet time. Not going to do anything even to the minion wave. It's a double kill. Now for aiming, can he grab the triple? The answer is no, as Soan's going to take that one away as the Emperor's Divide just gets avoided by aiming with a beautiful stopwatch. Viper will get crushed on his fountain. The center's going to go down, but so is the Nexus, and KT will win after taking every buff on the map.
Yeah, I mean, Griffin could actually still contest the game, but they just gave up after the one good team fight. You didn't win a game, Griffin. You just won one single team fight in 25 minutes game, and they just literally gave up everything. I really don't know why they're not keep focusing in the game.
Yeah, me too. And I don't really know who to give the player of the game to. I think maybe Tucson, because he was getting the Devours on point, especially around the earlier stages. I mean, Bono played well also. Ugh, it's hard.
For me, it's
aiming, you reckon?
Yeah, because his ROM timer was great enough to just... It might... people think aiming is just legit support player. So, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking aiming as well. I don't think that I can give it to Tucson this game, even though he had a few moments. I think that aiming's play was definitely good. I'm getting called out because we've got other casters in our chat channel where we discuss player of the game, and Ejim's calling me spineless right now, saying that I should have stuck with Tucson. But I think that aiming did have a very, very good game, and I think that if we have a look at the damage numbers, it'll also be pretty damn high for the 80 carry, currently playing more of a supported type role. As we have a look, able to get all this damage down and get Bono to his 2-0 very early in this game. And catching out Yukal before he could do anything here in the early game was really what helped secure things for KT. So I just think that, honestly, when it's really difficult to call a player of the game, I think that's a good thing for the team because it shows their teamwork and the way that they're playing together is why they're winning.
Yes, I mean, that's why I think GRX has a huge problem because always when they're winning, Chovy is getting all the POGs. So that's not a good point. That means it's really easy to play against. You just need to stop Chovy. And KT right now, every single players are playing good. Even top side, they're playing good.
Yeah.
So I'm just really happy to see that.
I think that
and Griffin.
Yeah, no, sorry. You continue.
Oh yeah. And what about Griffin? You know, they're trying Untara, but what happened to Meg? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, this is what I wanted from Griffin at the very beginning. I wanted them to play Yukal in the mid lane, Yukal top lane, and then Neon in mid. Because Neon was always a very good mage player, and Yukal has been able to play these like AD assassins very, very well, and would suit playing top lane, to be honest. Like, imagine if it was Neon's Azir right here. Like, he had one of the best Azir performances in a really, really long time, just last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Yukal is the good player when it comes to mage champions, but right now it seems like they have only one player in Griffin.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we'll see whether Viper can continue trying to carry. He actually played decently well in game number 1, but it just wasn't enough up against the Elder Drake for free, the Baron for free, and the Ocean Soul for free. You just can't give all of that up and expect to win, even if your scaling composition is there. So now maybe in game number 2, Griffin can rethink their strategy of just giving away objectives and allowing KT to win. We'll have to find out after the break.
That's